So today we're just cleaning out one of the back pens of the calves. We classify as the straw side simply because the straw is stacked in on the right, as you can see. Obviously that's the other side that we classify as the door side because the door's over there to get them in and out. We're just clearing out. We try and clear out part way through just so that it keeps the dung down. Dad's at the minute just stacking it up in the yard, and then he'll start taking it away a bit later. So we're just on feeding up again today. These guys are having their bales. Unfortunately the back spike, we can't get it low enough in the bales to pick them up when we unroll them. So Dad's just going to turn around so he can grab it on the front spike. So we're only giving them 3 bales today just because they haven't quite eaten up what was there. There's not enough left for them to have it for the rest of the day. So we're giving them a bale less so that they will start eating it up. So we've been cleaning out some of the sheds, as you can see. So because the cows have been in and things, Dad's only been able to clean out a little bit and then he had to put the cows back in. So we're hopefully going to try and get this pen finished today, get it at least all cleaned out. If not, it can't be all spread, that's fine. So we're just getting on with that. Just out seeing the sheep. It looks like they want to come back with me. So this is just some of the feeding up jobs this morning. Obviously it's quite a narrow passageway here at the back at the minute. So Dad dumps the grab and then has to manoeuvre and push it in with the grabs. As you can see on the right is the cows. They're all stood up from the silage pit, from the cubicles at the minute because we've got the door open to the silage pit so that we can feed. Once Dad's finished putting this grab in, I'll be able to open the gates and let them back in, and then they can go feed, and then that'll be the sheds done. We can, if we wanted to, we can drive around the cubicles to feed here, but whilst the cubicles is out, it does make it a lot easier just to drive straight through. So we're just going to put the barriers all back in. We've cleaned out. I've put some fresh straw down, and then I've put the hay that they haven't finished that's a bit docky in so they can pick out, or if not, it'll go in this bedding. And we just got to put these back in place. So today is a very busy day. We have our TB test, which is a whole herd test. We've got the cubicle cows are currently still stood at the back. We've cleaned out, we've fed everyone. Dad is just taking a grab to the cows up the field. We've left the cows out at the minute because if we bring them in, they're really hard to get out because they all go feeding. The vet should be here in about 15 minutes or so. I believe we're going to start trying to bring down some groups so that we're ready to go, so we can get on a bit quick today. So we're going to go start bringing some down. misty day. And Simmy had her calf. Good boys, come on. Come on, Reggie. Just bringing these in now as we bring the rough break group, as we call it, down through this field, because it's the easiest and quickest way. And then it's nice and easy just to slip them up through the gate and over to there. And Simmy's taking the roughest pass possible. Good boy, Reggie. Come on then. So it has been a long day testing. We've done the whole herd. We've had a new vet from our vets today, who has been brilliant with all the cows. Just a bit more, of a slower day. So we've come back now to the farm after finishing in the injecting side of it. And we're just heading off to start all the evening jobs and some of the morning jobs that need to still be done. Luckily enough, Becca managed to check some of the sheep as she took the cattle back up to the fields. Obviously all the sheds and everything were fed fine, and Corndon was done fine because Dad left really early this morning to make sure everything was fed and done. Just means we are starting bedding up very late. Normally it is exactly nearly 6 o'clock. So obviously normally by this time we are done. We're normally in with the kids from being late anyway. But obviously we're just starting our evening jobs now. So it's alright. So it's going to be a little bit late for us, but that's what it is sometimes, and we can't do very much about it. We've just got to get on and get the jobs done for what we can do. So we're just going to start bedding up, and Becca will bring the sheep in, and she'll do the couple that are in a pen. Our early lambers have nearly finished lambing. We've only got one left to lamb. Hopefully she will soon hurry up. So we're going to get on and get evening jobs done, so the day is done, and then we'll read our test on Friday and we'll let you know how it goes. So it's a lovely, wet, misty, horrible day today. I got a new buddy with me, Brooke. This is Brooke. She's one of my cousin's dogs that he had, that I now have. She's a little bit timid, she's getting used to us. Hey, but you ride on the bike so well, don't you? Yeah! So she is getting used to us, but she is being so good out with these sheep. So it's definitely in her, so hopefully that will make things easier as she gets used to us as the years go on. I have been told off. I injured my back a couple of weeks ago. I've just had it fixed, and I've been told off now because I have been lifting and doing too much during my pregnancy. So I've pretty much got to take it a lot easier on farm, which, as anyone knows from a farming background, is extremely hard to do when there's jobs to do. When you've got cake to feed and things to do, it's difficult. Hopefully that might mean I might get a bit more footage of jobs going on because I can't do as much. But we'll just have to see how the weeks go. It's complete pain for me because it's amazing what things I'm not allowed to lift now, which I wouldn't have even thought about. But yeah, so we're going to try and get out of this lovely weather and get on and do some more jobs. So we have finished the up round stuff and everything is happy and good. Mum and Kaylee have done the yard because I'm not allowed to touch any of the sheep because of the lambing. I have got the other 2 dogs to let out. We are not letting them out at the minute with Brooke, just simply because they're a little bit boisterous with her and we want her to get settled, really, and Peg is very boisterous. So I'm just heading out now to the cubicles. We're going to start out there. The day has been completely shifted at the minute, simply because when Dad headed out to do Corndon, as he does first thing in the morning, he got met with a log lorry on the wrong road, of which the log lorry was stuck. So Dad and Morts managed to get him out and send him on his way, but it has backed up all the other jobs now for today. But we're out, we'll get these jobs done and we'll see what the rest of the day holds. So we are overcorned and feeding up at the minute. We are simply feeding today rather than normally we would feed tomorrow on a Friday, because that's how it falls. We feed in bed and then we bet. What do? We feed in bed and then we feed and then we feed in bed, is how it normally would work. But because of our TV reading tomorrow, we have to feed today because we won't have chance tomorrow. Tuesday we managed to clean out, and Becca managed to do yard jobs, let ewes and lambs out and feed the fatteners. And then we started the TB test at, it was probably just after 9:30. We did stop for an hour for lunch to have some food. And also Bex had to go and get memes from school. But we didn't actually finish TB testing over here until 5:30. So for us, normally that was quite a long day. Obviously then we finished at 5:30, we then had to pack up and then we had to go and feed and sort and see everything and bed up and everything. So it was a very long day for us. So we're thinking this time, as we know Friday shouldn't be as long, but could be just the equivalent, that we're going to try and do as much as we can today. Obviously they're still looking fairly clean there in the back. That might all change tomorrow. So we're feeding today, and then hopefully tomorrow all we should need to do in the afternoon is run over and bed them. So yeah, we're going to get all the bales out. We don't put very much in this last bay because when we TB test, that gate comes across because they come out from the crush and then they have a piece of the yard to stand in. So we don't put very much on that end just because else they just run over it and pull it round and make a mess. So. BBC Devon is doing very well today. So just for anyone that is curious, this log lorry actually went up this lorry, up this road. He came up this road and he got stuck up here on this bend. He came off the main road, came all through the narrow, which we are amazed about. But yeah, he got stuck here on this corner. His wheels went up the hedge here on the right and couldn't go. And as you can see by all the soil up there, his front of the trailer got caught all up there. So it took Morts, which is our cousin Richard, Mortimore, it took Morts to pull him, and Dad, who brought this one over and pulled the back of the trailer to free them. Safe to say, from what I was told, he had done a lot of damage, but we are amazed that he even got that far. So we have finished morning jobs. We're just bringing in the first bunch. As you can see, Simmy's calf is well on her legs now. She was born the morning of the TB test. So this is the first group we're bringing down with the bulls. Get them in and penned, and then we'll come and get rough break. Get them down, and then we might even have some time for breakfast today. So we are nearly ready now. We've just brought down Cleves, which is the 2 bulls, the 2 cows, and now the 2 calves. The cubicles are up the back, just over there where the crush is. They're up the back, ready to come through in a bit when the vet arrives. Becca's gone off around to feed the sheep, and then she is joining Dad and Simon, who are bringing rough breakdown. They will then come and stand in the alleyway. And then I think we're going to have some time to do breakfast. I have made a tractor fort just to stop anything going in the silage pit, make it a little bit easier. So yeah, everything is nearly ready to go. Just get these cows down and then yeah, be there. So it's another week. We are just over corner at the minute cleaning out. Dad's been over and fed this morning. We're just cleaning out, and then we're also going to come over in a bit and blow some straw. So they've got a fresh bed, as you can see. They're getting a bit dirty. So we're just in the middle of cleaning out. We've got a last scrape up the alleyway to do. Yes, at the end of the last week we went clear with our TB test, which we were all very thankful for. So that was a good run last week. It obviously did take up 2 of our days and that, but luckily on Friday it wasn't as long as of a day. We got all the cows through the crush nice and quickly, and they read very well, and they were a lot, I would say, calmer. So that was really good. So yeah, we're just cracking on with some more jobs this week. Becca's been in doing some lambs' feet, because as they are indoors, we seem to get their feet very clumped up with all the straw and things and have tender feet. So Becca's at home doing that. Dad and I, like I said, are here cleaning out. Dad has booked in a load of lambs now with Jasper's to go for this week. I'm going to say this week. So hopefully that will thin down some of them. So yeah, we're getting on with it now. So at the weekend, we officially finished with the early lambers. The last one finally lambed. I believe it was Sunday evening or Monday morning she lambed. So that is finally finished, which is really good. We're waiting for the Scotties to kind of kick going. Obviously they should have started lambing, but as Scotties go, they like to wait. I actually found out some information the other day that the reasons a Scotch black face doesn't get in lamb very early is simply because their body is scheduled to get in lamb when the days reach, the daylight reaches a certain point, because then they know that their chance of survival is better. So that's an amazing piece of information that I found out, which was fantastic. Obviously doesn't help the situation that they're not hurrying up to lamb. But we can't do anything about it now. We just have to wait and see how they get on and do. Hopefully they'll start getting on, because we have had our first show form through for Devon County to say that entries have opened. And it's very hard to enter ewes and lambs when you don't know what the ewes are having. So it is a bit of a guess. And then if you don't have that selection, you just have to deal with it. So yeah, so we will give them a couple more days or weeks and see what comes out. We aren't 100% sure yet if we are going to attend the show. It would be lovely, but it does take a lot of prep. Anyone that does showing will understand how much work does get put into it. If we are going, I will definitely get some footage of everything, what we do pre and on the day and everything. I will definitely keep in the loop with all of that. But yeah, so the next bunch of our sheep I think are due middle of March. So hopefully the Scotties will start at some point soon, and then we'll have a couple weeks and the rest should begin. And we'll be fully in it then. So I have to apologise, I've been having some technical issues with my phone. We've just brought Bale up. We are in a different machine today than normal. This is simply because I've had an issue with the blue this morning. By the sounds of what my husband has told me, and from what I've spoken now to Wilcox, CR Wilcox, which is where we got the tractor from. It's a computer issue. I need someone to plug a computer in. How brilliant is it nowadays that tractors can only be fixed by a computer? So I am using the Merlot today to feed up. Becca's used it this morning to clean out the shed. So one of the lovely things that we get to see is our early lambers are all out in the fields now. So we only had 21 of them, but it is lovely to see that they are all out with their lambs now in the grass. Oh, sorry, this gate's a bit tricky. So yes, so we've just got a couple more bales to feed. Dad has gone to take the gator tyres into Wilcox to have them sorted, because they've completely cracked. We've been told that apparently it is an ongoing issue that they have with the gators, with the Polaris even, I should say. that the wheels seem to like rip themselves apart. They say it's due to them being at low pressure. But we're pretty good at checking our tyres, especially before we go anywhere for a long time. So we're not quite sure how this has happened, but hey ho. So Dad's going to sort that, and he's also going to see the sheep on his way. I'm feeding bales today. Becca is sorting out the lambing shed, getting what the fat lambs were in, getting that all cleaned out, ready for the next bunch to start, because our Scotties are seeming to make a nice move on things now, which is very unusual. Normally they like to drib and drab, but they've done very good. So we've got that, so our next bunch will be starting in a couple of weeks. So she's getting that all sorted and prepared. I've got to take a couple of hogs out to Moorgate, and then we'll have afternoon jobs. So we'll have to just see how we get on today. And yes, for anyone that is wondering, I am 5 months pregnant, so things are taking me a bit longer than usual. I'm not allowed anything to do with the lambing side of it. I've got to stay away. It does make some days very difficult, but one of those things, you just got to do what you can do. So this is an extremely odd day. I've just met a log lorry, and I am not being horrible. I am not trying to make him reverse. He is doing a brilliant job, simply because behind me is a cattle lorry and I am caught in the two of them. So this is a very odd circumstance. I feel like a very small duck between two very big pawns. Okay, all I'm gonna say after that kerfuffle is A.W. Jenkins, you have a driver who is absolutely bloody brilliant. So I was caught between the log lorry that was loaded coming down and a lorry that was actually going up to the neighbours to pick up, I think, cattle, by the sounds of what he's got on board already. Behind him was also two other vans. Behind the log lorry ended up being a tipper trailer for the forestry as well, and another truck. So that log lorry, the piece that he had to actually reverse back, which is between our lane and Grandad's lane, it has a horrible stone that sticks out, and the lorries have to like bounce over it. And he did freaking phenomenal. Like, if people in cars could reverse as he just reversed that lorry, like, we wouldn't have a problem. But yeah, so just on the odd chance that A.W. Jenkins ever listened to this, your drivers, fantastic. I have to admit, I haven't met one yet that in the circumstances they've had to reverse, haven't been able to. They are bloody brilliant. So now that's little kerfuffle's over, I'm going to get these bales off and get back to it.